Most managers think recognition like awards, praise, and pizza parties make employees care, but it doesn't. After 13 years as a manager and now a director leading other managers, I've seen what really drives motivation and what is going to make your top performers quit. So in this video, I'll break down the 3 hidden factors behind real engagement and a simple system that you can start using today to get your employees to care about their work. So what is the first crucial factor you need to know to make your employees care? You're recognizing your team, you're praising them, you're doing everything right. So why are your top performers quietly checking out? Turns out what you think is motivating them might be the exact thing pushing them away. So how do you fix this? To understand why most praise falls flat, let's go back to middle school. No, not the awkward school dances or inconvenient pimples. Let's go back to a more confident time when you used to play sports. You're playing your heart out in a championship game, sweating, diving, leading your team. You leave everything on the field, and after the final whistle, you go to Pizza Hut and you get the same participation trophy as the kid who showed up twice and picked their nose during practice. At first, it feels nice. Hey, thanks for showing up. But by the third time, you kind of stop caring because when effort doesn't matter, neither does the praise. That's exactly how your team feels when they get vague compliments like good job or appreciate the hard work. It doesn't feel personal, it feels performative. Also, did we just put together the psychology behind why most managers associate pizza with giving recognition? Anyways, here's the truth. Generic praise doesn't motivate people. It demoralizes them because deep down, people don't want to be thanked. They want to be seen. So what actually makes people feel seen and get them to care again? Well, you need to have strong nuts.
Got him!
If you guess that NUTS stands for notice, understand, tell, and support, you're absolutely correct. Here's how to give recognition that actually lands. N stands for notice what others miss. Most managers only spot mistakes. You need to flip that. Start noticing the tiny wins, the things that most people completely overlook. So your action is by the end of each day, I want you to jot down one small thing that a team member did well, and then say it to their face tomorrow. U stands for understand the effort. Don't just praise the outcome, acknowledge what it took. Did they stay late? Deal with a nightmare client, navigate office politics. So your action item for this is in your praise, call out the specific effort they put in. T stands for tell them directly. Assume your team doesn't know they're appreciated because most don't. People are not mind readers, and if they were, they'd already know you're stressed out and winging it half the time. So your action item for this is praise in the moment. Eye contact, one-on-one, text, Slack, doesn't matter. Just say it out loud and clear. And then finally, S stands for support them with more opportunities. Recognition is great, but opportunity, that's where the real trust is built. Don't just thank them, show that you believe in them. So your action item here is to give your top people more ownership, not more tasks. You're probably wondering, how the heck do you implement this in your day-to-day? Well, I've got you covered with this amazing tool. That's exactly why I built BashBot. It's an AI version of me that answers all of your management questions. It's free, it's fast, and it will make you look like you have every answer. Check it out down in the link below. But even when your team feels seen and supported, something else can still kill motivation. And odds are, you're doing it every single day without even realizing it. So what's the second hidden factor that will quickly make your employees care? Okay, so you got your team feeling seen, but they're still not fully engaged. Why? Because there's one hidden habit managers think is helpful, but it actually crushes motivation. But I promise you, if you can get this next thing right, it's going to 10x your employees' motivation. So how do you do that? Well, honestly, the best way to explain this is through my favorite place to get a stomachache, Chipotle. You walk into Chipotle ready to build your dream burrito. You've got a vision, half chicken, half steak, light rice, extra guac, let's go. But before you can open your mouth, the employee cuts you off and says,
Nope, we're doing double rice, no guac, and heavy lettuce.
and when they hand you back that overstuffed lettuce log, you're frustrated. Not because it's terrible, but because it's not yours. Well, that's what micromanagement feels like. You think that you're helping your team make a better burrito, but you've just hijacked their order and their motivation. Micromanagement doesn't make you look involved. It makes your team feel powerless. And when people don't have a say in how they work, they stop caring about their work. So how do you give your team the autonomy they crave without letting things spiral into chaos? Use the OWN framework, and here's how it works. O stands for ownership from start to finish. Don't just assign tasks, assign outcomes. So your action here is to say, instead of
Send this report.
you got to tell them, own the weekly process and figure out a way to get it to me every Friday. Let them decide how it gets done. Then W stands for why. Explain the why behind the work. People don't buy into steps, they buy into the mission. So your action here is, before assigning any project, add this line. Here's why this matters. Then tie it to a bigger impact. And then finally, N stands for net, as in having a net for a safe failure. People only take ownership when they know they're allowed to mess up safely. So when someone asks how to solve a problem, you're gonna say, how would you handle it? Then coach, don't correct. And here's the twist. Even if your team feels valued and you give them full control, there's still one more reason they might not care, and it's the most common mistake that managers make. And if you've made it this far, you probably care a lot about being a great manager, or your team is just giving off a strong, I'm just here so I don't get fined energy. Either way, hit subscribe, we're going to turn that around. So what is the final critical hidden factor to make your team engaged? So your team feels seen and they've got real ownership, and if you were paying attention, you already heard what I'm about to tell you. But I'm focusing in on this because it isn't just a helpful tip, it's the core of lasting motivation. So what is this critical thing that you need to know? Well, imagine you're trying to put together a giant puzzle, but no one shows you the picture on the box. You're just mindlessly fitting pieces together, hoping they make sense. How long do you think it would take before you swipe the whole thing off the table? You're putting in all the effort, but you have no idea what you're building or if it even matters. Eventually, you're gonna stop giving a damn. That's exactly what happens to your team when they don't understand the big picture. Listen, they aren't lazy. They're just stuck placing puzzle pieces with no idea what they're building. And here's the truth. When people don't see the why, they disconnect from the work. You can give them all the praise and freedom in the world, but without purpose, it all falls flat. So how do you make the purpose crystal clear? Well, you need to use the MAP framework, because when people have a map, they stop feeling lost. M stands for mission. Tie their task to the company's larger mission. People want purpose, not busy work. So your action here is to tell your employees, here's how this moves the needle for us as a team. Even a simple sentence creates clarity. And A stands for audience impact. Show who benefits, not just what's getting done. I like to share real customer wins or teammate successes that came from their effort. It's way more powerful than a great job. And then finally, P is path to progress. Make it clear how their work fits into the future of the business and their career. So in your next one-on-one, ask them, where do you want to grow and how can I line your work up with that? By using the map and showing your employees why their work is important, they're guaranteed to care more and take ownership of their role the way you do as a manager. You've got the tools to make your team care, but there's one mistake that kills their respect instantly. And the worst part? You're probably doing it every day without even realizing it. So in this next video, I'll show you why the best leaders say less, lead more, and earn unshakable respect.